miss this car. It's so good. What's going on, NDM crew? Welcome back to another video. We're in the Datsun! Yeah! Woo! I've driven the car before because we had to pick it up from a shop. I'll tell you guys the entire story in another video, but this is Anthony's first reaction to the Datsun. He's in the driver's seat and he's getting some seat time to enjoy all the work that we put into the car. It's nice. Yeah, give her a start.
Oh fuck, it's quiet.
Yeah,
it's much quieter.
Look, it's in neutral, right?
Yeah.
So take your foot off the clutch. Do you hear that noise?
Oh yeah.
What do you think that is?
Release bearing. It's fine with the window down. That's all.
Yeah.
Still got a fifth gear?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
Keep the windows down. It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, just go down.
It's actually pretty comfortable, to be honest.
It's a little stiff, but it's nothing.
It's as stiff as a
Oh, what are they doing? Oh, I guess we had no choice but to turn.
We're paving the roads.
Anthony just put an Easter egg in this video, and you guys, if you caught it, then...
Oh, shit. I forgot.
I may have to bleep it out. I'll have to bleep it out. Yeah. But there's an Easter egg in this video.
It actually drives insanely smooth.
Yeah, like it's honestly not that different than before. Like, obviously the brakes are better. Everything's tighter.
That's one thing I haven't really paid attention to is the brakes. Like, I haven't like noticed that I'm driving a car that's from the 70s. It's like normally when you drive an old car, the first thing you notice is, what the fuck is going on? We're not stopping.
Yeah.
It's either one of two things. The brakes are either junk or the car is too heavy, and this thing is neither.
Yeah, exactly. You got a light car with amazing brakes. Yeah, go down.
Oh yeah, the brakes are amazing.
They're good, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Give her a little bit around this corner. Give her. Hard. There you
go. Is the fuel gauge accurate?
Yeah. Why, has it been going down a lot?
No. Oh my god, my car?
Ridiculous.
Oh fuck, dude.
That's okay though.
I'm lucky if I got like 400 kilometers to a tank. When it costs
yeah,
like
but yeah,
70.
at least you're enjoying every single one of those kilometers, so. Yeah. I know, it's super smooth though, eh?
It is.
Like, bumps aren't too crazy. Like, yeah, it's definitely stiffer, but...
No, that's softer than... Honestly, it's just because it's an old car.
Plus, I got some junk in here,
There's things
too.
rattling around. It's,
Yeah.
As far as just the bumps going, it's nothing.
Yeah.
That's smooth.
And everything seems tight, like going over corners. The steering
the steering is super responsive.
Yeah. Like, I'm curious to see how this thing would be around a track. Like, now, I've only driven it back from the shop. I haven't given her yet. So, like, that's what you guys will be seeing in the next couple clips, but... Yeah, like it's just like the engine. It's like you
Yes.
don't sound, it's not artificial.
Yeah, it sounds so mechanical.
And it's not as high pitched as before, but it's...
No, I like that. It's got some throatiness to it
Yeah.
now.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it feels torquier to you, maybe because, I don't know, I think it feels a little bit more dialed.
It feels when it's under power, it feels way more solid, right? Like more under control.
Yeah.
And that's probably because of that little bit more weight in the back end from that diff.
It's now my turn to give you my first impressions. I've technically driven the car before with this new setup, like I mentioned earlier when Anthony was driving. But that was more just to figure out some small issues that we had, as well as just bring it back from the shop that we had to send it to get some things done. So this is my first official cruise, my first drive for actual enjoyment, and to see what this car can do. Line. It's so mechanical. Like it's the driver who's making all the movements, all the decisions, making everything happen, and you can tell, you can feel every little thing that you do. I love it. The new exhaust is so much quieter. This setup is definitely my favorite so far. The exhaust pitch isn't as high, like it doesn't scream as much as it did before, but I don't know, I love the tone of this exhaust, and I don't know how to explain it. It's awesome. These new brakes are so good too. Woo! Stop on a dime. I really should have brought my sunglasses. Everything seems to be working the way it should. There's a few noises that I'm hearing now, but I think it could be because the car's a lot quieter, so naturally there's going to be sounds coming from the car. I don't know. Before it was just exhaust, that's all you could hear. You couldn't really hear the car, the mechanics of the car. So now I think I'm hearing, some transmission noise, some, drive shaft noise, because I mean, it's just right here, right beside me. So I'm hearing a few things, and I don't know if it's something that's wrong or, again, if it's just normal, but I never heard it before because the exhaust was so loud. So this is almost like a little bit of a shakedown, make sure everything works. I've been watching coolant temps, things like that. Kind of keeping an eye on the car, but brakes feel really good. Yeah, baby. My gosh. Hot damn! She likes to go fast. Even on this really bumpy road, as you can probably tell from this footage, the stiffer suspension is handling it so well. It's not really uncomfortable, and I mean, it could be because these seats are just extremely comfy like couches, but oh, big bump, handled it like a champ. So far, it just seems like it's a really good setup for a street. It's a street car. This isn't a track car, but it seems like it's going to be a really good setup. It's not overly stiff, so it's not uncomfortable and unbearable to drive. And I hope these exhaust clips that I'm getting for you guys, if you can see this, I don't know what's going on with the camera. I don't know if it's doing what it needs to be doing, but if it's dark, I apologize. But I hope these exhaust clips come out good, because I know you guys have been asking for it for a while, and I've been slacking for sure. So I knew first thing I wanted to do this year was get some driving footage, get some exhaust clips, and get my overall feedback on what I think of, you know, the build so far. This setup is absolutely amazing. Steering definitely feels more, I wouldn't say stiff, but I would say more responsive slightly. Definitely smoother. So all those new components are definitely doing their job, and definitely less play and everything. Oh my God. Sounds so good. Oh! It's actually really weird having like a lot of systems feeling modern with like the old school mechanics of it. So having, you know, modern suspension, modern brakes. Holy fuck! What the fuck are you doing? Bud's trying to cut me off. Good thing I got new brakes. Shit. Now I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, having modern platform underneath me right now, having like old school interior, gauges that barely work, and having, oh my gosh, having, you know, a transmission that's very sloppy. Again, it's not, I wouldn't say sloppy is the word, but it's just older technology. It's not what you'd expect. Like obviously it's going to be different than you going out and buying a brand new car that's, you know, manual today. It's not the same feeling. And having, you know, the engine that is supposed to be in this car for this era, with everything that's modern underneath, it's like an odd balance that is really refreshing actually. Because, you know, it doesn't feel like, it feels tight, it feels smooth, but you get like that old vibe, old school vibe from it. You get that still very direct feeling of it's you controlling the car, driving the car. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just driving. Like this is what I love this car the most about, is just the fact that I can go in it. There's no destination. I'm just driving, having a good time, testing it out. We'll definitely do a lot more driving this year. It's so weird though. Like I've driven these roads before. Driving them now, like I can feel the road a lot more with this suspension setup, brakes. Well, I guess not brake setup, but tire setup. Everything, like I can, all the contours of the road changing, like I'm leaning to the road, whereas before I didn't really have that same experience. It's almost, I'm not used to this, so it's almost making me question a few things, but I think it's just a matter of me getting used to it. This is awesome though. Yeah, give her some gas.
Oh yeah. Forgot you actually have to be in motion to turn the steering wheel on this thing.
Well, yeah. You got lots of room on this side. It's easy to drive though, which is what I like too. Like we didn't make it any more difficult to drive. I've got to say it's one of the easiest cars
Oh yeah.
to drive.
And if
At least
anything-
of this age. Like, this is
anything,
such an old car.
It's comfortable. It's more comfortable too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Overall thoughts? Good job.
It's mint. It's mint.
We'll do some track days this summer, and we got a big surprise coming up for you guys, so you'll see that in an upcoming video for sure. But
Actually, depending on how that GoPro's positioned, they probably already saw it.
you guys would have already saw it. So I don't know if you guys are if I'm gonna overlay the whole GoPro thing. Maybe I'll leave some Easter eggs in there. I mean, we'll see. It's something big, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Stay classy, crew.
Peace.